Danzig.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Here comes the Soviet Air Force. I'm amazed how these guys are just holding. That's the difference a river makes. This is why. Ah, shoot.
Befehle. Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Don't stop.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
There's 4 people there. Actually,
Ausrücken.
how my losses doing. I mean, we're not very well. And we are losing more and more factories as they keep pushing us. So I think I'm going to cancel the rubber production, because we just need to go all out military factories. Like, this is a war of attrition and we are losing that. We're at 90 here. Thankfully they're not attacking into Watch, otherwise we really would be in trouble. I mean, more than we already are. War bonds would break. No, I'm trying to save up enough that I can change my manpower law. Though I'm not actually sure that that would do me much good. Seeing as we're at 14%. Oh, wait. Scraping the barrel's only 12%? It's usually 25%. Right, now they're attacking here. Tank can continue. Half of them stop. Yeah, they're able to reinforce into here now, unfortunately. I think that this group is dead. I don't think there's going to be a way for me to break through, because they can reinforce these guys. Oh well. Meanwhile, elsewhere is pretty quiet. The Yugoslavians are finally attacking the uprising there. Didn't do nearly as much damage as the Warsaw uprising. That was crippling. Everything went wrong from the start of the Warsaw Uprising. I don't really know that there's much more I can do. Actually getting repaired. Nope. That's just the state of my submarines. I mean, it's definitely going to help now that they are sneaky. I mean, obviously we've had a few hits on their big ships, but that might well be damage left over from when the Air Force was active in the area. We're getting mauled in the sky. What's the deficit there? 1,600 fighters. We don't actually have that big a close air support deficit, even if we're not actually producing any close air support. What's happened there? Oh. Oh well. I mean, I think I'm doing the right thing trying to overcome the ration deficit. Because I feel like it's the easiest one to overcome, which is going to boost the strength of all of my units quite significantly, because each one does use a lot of rations. Stop the attack. This ain't doing anything. Except wasting resources. Ah, Warsaw. All went wrong with Warsaw. And that's also meant that I've lost my, like, fallback line. So the next one's going to be back here. And then we're basically in Germany. I mean, this is the start of the 1945 scenario. think so, but this is a bit of a dangerous pocket. Actually, let me say, you're responsible for that. You're responsible for that. I mean, you've done a tremendous job holding on to Romania, but you need to be responsible for more of this line now. Instead of Festung Breslau, we've got a Festung Łódź instead. This was the real holdout city. Well, I guess this is confirmation that even without Normandy, the Soviets would still have won. Because I don't really see a way of stopping this. So the gun shortage is just getting worse and worse. At least our troops are fed. Kind of. We are actually making a surplus medium tanks at the moment, but that's just because we're not attacking anything. There go the Breslau people. Let's add you to the other reserves over here. I mean, unfortunately, a bunch of these reserves I'm probably going to need to move to defend this line, so that they can't just break through it. Why are you attacking? Don't attack. If anything, you should be backing off. I'm a little bit surprised that the Allies haven't tried to do more in Italy. Like, there are no British or American troops here. In fact, we've hardly even seen the Brits and the Americans compared to what they should be capable of doing at this point. Especially America. Like, yeah, they appeared in like 1 or 2 areas and were extremely difficult to root out. But they haven't had that much of an impact. Unless they're sending lots and lots of guns to Russia, which is possible. Although Russia actually has almost as many factories as we do, on their own. Okay, here comes the big fight. Indochina has capitulated. So I've now integrated Normandy into the northern front. And we just need to try and shield Germany as much as we can so that we can try and get more and more guns produced. I mean, we are mass producing military factories. We just finished the last of the rubber factories. I mean, we're rubber independent. We are completely independent in everything now. Not importing a thing, except tungsten. We are importing tungsten from Portugal. Right, that's all of that done. Excellent. So let's go and produce better artillery, maybe? 57 days. Submarine fleet is definitely growing, thanks to Donus's most recent acquisitions in terms of abilities. He's working on Green Water Expert, which is going to be a big help, because part of the reason we're losing so many submarines is because we're operating in shallow sea. The English Channel is shallow, and that comes with a really big penalty to submarine visibility. Yeah, they're twice as visible in shallow, which is why when Donetsk got his visibility buffs, things got a lot better. Oh man, the Soviets are doing a massive push down here right now. I mean, this is rough terrain. This is all like mostly mountain at this point. But our oil fields are under increasing threat. Although the armor division down here is doing their mightiest trying to keep that secure. We do need to be careful that they're not trying to cut off this entire sector. That would be a problem. In fact, I think I might even just go and throw the reserves Seeing as the Allies don't seem to be doing anything. Onto the southern front. Alright, there's the new heavy tank. We don't have the resources to build it, though, unfortunately. It's a 48. Oh, we don't have encryption. No, these are 45s, right, of course. Duh. I'm so close to being able to change our law. I think that if I did this again in the future, then I might well change manpower law at the start. Especially knowing that you get the Hitlerjugend, which gives you more manpower. This is a fast-moving game, yes. I'm really curious what the other channel's like. Have any of you been listening? Like, are they impressed with how things have gone? Are they disappointed? Have they gone as they expected? Yeah, we've almost lost the Carpathians. At some point, we're gonna have to abandon this. And at that point, become Fortress Germany. I mean, I reckon that we could hold this line for quite a long time. Actually, probably more like this line. That's why I'm so annoyed about having lost Warsaw, because that's just such a huge river crossing. And to have lost that basically without a fight is a problem. Now, how are the Soviet units looking? Yeah, we're just not hurting them enough. There's modern support weapons. Let's get more modern support weapons. We got the 1939 ones in 1945. Yay. It's been an interesting set of history lessons mixing with what you've done. Okay, good. Feel free to slow this down the game. Good chat's going on here about Romania. Okay. Kind of surprised he held so far, but they see the writing on the wall. I mean, I see the writing on the wall, so I'm not surprised. I mean, the only thing at this point that could potentially save us is if I get, like, the full German industry up and running. Which isn't impossible. Especially because they do seem to have massively increased the industrial capacity of Germany. I mean, Brandenburg alone has 41, 51, 57 factory slots in Brandenburg. That's a lot. Oh, we have 300. Hold on. That's going to be a big deal because Scraping the Barrel is going down to all adult serve. That's going to kill our manpower for a time, but is going to dramatically increase the amount of production we get. Because Scraping the Barrel is a 70% penalty, whereas all adult serve is only a 40. 70. I didn't even realize I was dealing with a 70% penalty. Okay. Then yeah, at the start of the game, that is definitely something you need to do. So yeah, we just had a 30% production boost from that. We'll see how that affects the manpower though. Because it's going to go down by... Actually, is it only 2%? That hardly seems worth it. Yeah, you only get 2% from Scraping the Barrel. Seriously? So what would the next one be? Service by requirement, which is actually even cheaper. It's only 150. That is a 3% reduction. And factory output is increased by 15%. Scrape the barrel, more like destroy the barrel. Yeah, apparently. You know, at the moment we are holding kind of... Oh man, look at all the green. Surplus guns, surplus motorized, surplus ration, lots of surplus rations, surplus support equipment, surplus medium tanks, surplus fighters. I mean, not that we actually have those in stockpile, but the production. Like, the reason we've been struggling so hard is because we've been actually consuming more resources than we've been producing, which means the surpluses just get... not the surplus, the opposite to surplus. The deficiencies have just been growing and growing and growing. But now we can actually start to overcome surplus problems, particularly with the rations. I mean, this is 2,500 rations surplus a day. We'll overcome that in no time. Like, what, 16, 17 days? And then we can switch all of that ration production into making guns. And that, in turn, is going to bolster the strength of our units. Oh, I should have done that so much earlier. That makes such a massive difference. I hadn't realised that it was quite that big. Get the 12-year-olds off the front and into the factories. Yeah, exactly. No bleeding wonder Germany does so badly at that point. In the last couple of months, you gained 800 more tanks. You were at minus 3,800. Now it's minus 3,800. Now it's minus 3,000. That might also be because we're losing tank divisions. Yeah, Rommel's gone from 24 to 19. Dietrich's gone from 8 to 4. So I think that's more divisions dying than actually saving stuff. Well, they're at my tiny little defensive line up here before I stopped building them because I didn't think I needed them. I was wrong. All because of Warsaw. If we had held Warsaw, we would be holding this entire line. Not to mention still having access to all the industry that's over here. Where is Prague? Poznan's pretty industrial. Breslau is incredibly industrial. Okay, I haven't actually developed any industry over here. Okay, it's not actually as bad as I thought. Historically, there was tons of industry over here. Yeah, I could build heavy tanks, but there is no way that we have the industry for that. Meanwhile, Romania holds. We're holding our oil field. It's keeping our tanks in fuel. Oops. I want to reduce that by 1, not by 8. I think we've actually built like 40 factories since the start. I think we're at like 103. What did we learn? Never underestimate a peasant revolt. No child left behind. All get jobs. Obsidian Rose. Already acknowledged that. Drink tea from King of Ducks. There you go, King of Ducks. Right, how are we doing for new submarines? So I wonder, is there a Lend-Lease going to Russia? If so, where would it be coming from? Well, Japan's come back in a big way. Go Japan. Well, I guess with... Oh, no, actually that's not true. I was going to say, I guess with me causing so many problems... No, that probably is true, because the American Navy has been out here trying to stop my submarines. So Japan may have actually had a bit of an easier time because of that. At least I hope they have. I'm wondering if I want to send the subs anywhere else. Because I think they've actually done their job in basically stopping Allied invasions. Are they out of convoys? Yep. Okay. The submarines have been incredibly effective. Plus the tactical bombers. Alright, we've knocked the Allies out of this war. they're a non-factor. Okay, interesting. In that case, Dönitz sink their capital ships. Oh, you already were. No, you weren't. Right. The new fleets were, the old one wasn't. So they probably already were going after capital ships. Admiral Donuts did his job. Apparently he did. Silver Knight, thank you very much for the bits. You got this. Onwards. I mean, we're trying. We're trying. – 11 days. 11 days until we no longer starving. Right, where's the oil field? It's actually there. And they've killed half of the oil coming out of it. That's going to be 9 infrastructure dead. Because of all the attacks that they've been doing here. Oh, this is where the Allies are. So they have apparently gotten access through the Soviets and are joining the attack from the Soviets. That's why this offensive is so dangerous. Oh, I understand now. Yeah, my unit's getting stronger. Getting stronger. It's crazy how much better soldiers are when they have a full belly. Not to mention actual industry. What's it like to have production again? Oh, it makes a difference. That's for sure. I would have liked to have had production for an extra, 7 months, 8 months. When did it start? June? July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 8 months. 8 months of 40 more production. Yes, please. Guns help too. I mean, we're working on it. We do have a very minor surplus. 50 soldiers more than yesterday have weaponry now. I wonder how the historians are going to describe it when you start pushing out again. I mean, it'll be a while from now. They still have a lot of manpower, and I'm going to need a lot of punching power. Although, actually, if I get some decent medium tank divisions up and running, it's not impossible. And what would make them more... Ooh, mortars. What would make them more decent? Field hospitals, for sure. But that would be more of a infantry division thing. Mechanized. If we change this motorized for mechanized, then they would be very good.
Alright.
Oh, these are the heavy tank divisions. 7 of the 20 motorized. They are fully supplied. 7 out of the 120 heavy tanks that they require. Oops. 11,000. 5 more days. 5. Historians, after the fascists win? I doubt that. There will be only bards. Anyway, yes, for people who may be joining us for the first time, this is a stream for Victory in Europe Day, which is basically the day that Germany surrendered 75 years ago. And I'm doing this in conjunction with the Royal British Legion, who are effectively the Veterans Association for Britain, so they are the ones who look after old soldiers. And I'm joined by Garius the Brit and Dan Hill, who are on Garius' stream, giving a historical overview of what's actually happening in-game. It's a really, really good idea. So, they would have been talking about my choice of commander when repulsing Normandy. I mean, historically it was Rommel. I used Rommel. They would have been talking about Romania, flipping Romania, holding Romania, the oil fields, the importance of those, the fall of the Baltics. Probably the Warsaw Uprising would have been a moment of great interest, because historically it didn't exactly go to plan, but here, very much did. And basically just giving a analysis of in-game events versus real events, and then giving basically a summary over those two. So if you haven't done so already, then I would strongly recommend you check out Garius the Brit, so it's twitch.tv/GariusTheBrit, who is streaming together with Dan Hill. Or you can watch the multi-stream, which pulls both of them together. Or you could watch this one now, and then watch theirs afterwards when it's the VOD, or vice versa, of course. If you'd rather get the actual historical context, you could be watching them, and then watch this one after. Loads of different ways of doing it. Something big just happened. Why did that take so long? Don't know. Who's attacking? Stop. You have one job, to hold. Yeah, we're finally losing the oil fields. We can't hold that. I feel like I have one objective right now, and that's to make sure that every soldier gets fed. Once I've done that, I've achieved my goals here. Yeah, the Allies are definitely starting to send in troops over here now. We've lost that river. They're coming into Berlin. Oh, bloody hell, there's only 15 minutes left. I didn't even realise that. Time has flown. I felt like it was, I don't know, 6. It's not, it's 8:45. Actually, we didn't get started until 6:30, so it's not that surprising. So, can we get food supply sorted in the next 15 minutes? Oh, Danzig. Withdraw. Time to go.
Los, los, los! Weiter, weiter!
Meanwhile, the German propaganda ministry is pumping out this song. Everything's fine.